To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse this free call, press. Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hello?
Hello. Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so before we get this started off, of course, I'm gonna have you introduce yourself, and then I'm gonna start off with a few questions, and I'm gonna try to make it quick because I know we're on a time frame. Okay.
All right.
All right. So the first thing I want you to do is, can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
My name is William Gibbons.
Okay. And how old are you?
38.
Okay. And just to confirm, so you've been in jail since 2006, is that right?
Yeah, I've been in jail since January 24th, 2006.
Okay. And when were you scheduled to get out prior to the additional charge?
2018, 2018, October 23rd, 2018, I discharged my first case before they charged me with a new case.
Okay.
You know,
And are you able to share what you were originally charged for?
my original case was armed robbery charge.
Okay.
You know, right.
You were given extra charges due to contraband. Is that right?
Right.
And how much extra time did they give you?
How much extra time? They gave me 3 20-year sentences, running concurrent, you know, but under the under the statute they put it under guns, knives, and bombs, you know, and then all over the internet, you know, it say judge and that, but you know, it was never no judge, it was never no guns, it was never no knives and no bombs. So they sentenced me under a harsher statute and conspiracy so they can get more time out of me.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? It was nothing more but tobacco and a cell phone.
They just tried to put more time on you.
Right. That's all it was to it. You know, I went to trial. They had charged me with ordering a hit on a correctional officer. You know, I took it to trial. They tried to give me a life sentence. You know, and I was acquitted. You know, so I was acquitted by it. You know, and then they got mad. They got mad and found the phone in there. You know, they gave me 20 years for the phone. They found a picture in there. You know, not no gang signs, not no drugs. Just a picture of me finna send to a woman. You know, and they gave me 20 years for that. You know, everybody else that was in the phone, like 7 people, everybody got charged. You know, they got probation. You know, they got 5 years suspended, stuff like that. You know, I got 20 years. You know, they was mad. You know, it was malicious. It was with ill will.
Oh, wow. Okay. Do you feel like you were targeted?
Yeah, I definitely was targeted, you know, because the officer that got ambushed, the correctional officer that was ambushed, you know, they had a coworker working in the county jail that I was at. And in the county jail, that same officer was a real police street officer, and he also worked at the prison that the woman worked at. So it was all it's a lot, you know what I mean? Like they was just everybody was in cahoots, and I feel like it was all malicious, you know. It's just sad, you know what I'm saying? I got my time, you know, I got an attorney because I knew the shit wasn't right. I knew it wasn't right, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I asked for a 12-year sentence, you know, and they like, that's too much. You know, they gave me an 8-year sentence, so I'm supposed to be in home. This is in 2021.
Right.
And then the DA wrote the governor, and he put in there his time isn't excessive. He ordered a guard to be murdered and got away with it. And I'm asking myself, like, how can he even say that, or how can they hold it against me if I was acquitted? You know, so that let me know right there it was ill will.
Correct. Definitely targeted. Okay. And I'm so sorry to hear that. When are you scheduled to get out as of now due to the extra charges?
Right now, as of the time they gave me, you know, I think they say like 2038, some crazy stuff. You know what I mean? It's like 2038, too much time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's just, and then for something so small, you know, I understand I was wrong about it. I'm not denying that. You know, I'm guilty for it. You know, I try to get some cigarettes so I can smoke, try to have a phone, you know what I mean? So all that's wrong, you know what I'm saying? But that much time.
For something so small, I definitely understand. And it's good that you're taking self-accountability in regards to the situation, but I definitely understand as far as the time. You know what I mean?
Right. And, you know, I've been having to deal with that in here because it's like, you know, I'm around all guards. I'm around different guards, you know, and they can I try to order a guard to be murdered, you know what I mean? So they're gonna target me. You know, I get sprayed, you know what I'm saying? They mace me, you know, I stay, you know, they stay put me in the hole, you know what I'm saying? I've been being in probably about 6 or 7 yards in just a year, you know. Usually everybody get, you know what I'm saying, be at 1 yard for at least 5 or 10 years. They stay shipping me, they put me in the hole. keep me in fed. You know, I deal with so much. You know, I deal with false write-ups. They'll write me up. You know, they'll write me up saying, oh, you know, what I'm saying you're trying to fight our guards. You know, you trying to do this. You know, and then I'll be like, dang, well, check the cameras. How did they deny all these Masons? Oh, you try to stab this person. They'll write me up. You know, and the write-up, it'll keep you in there for a long time. Because if it's serious, you know, then I'll be like, check the camera. You know what I'm saying? And then they're like, oh, it's the wrong person. I done dealt with that so many times. I got all my paperwork and all that. You know, that's how they do me. I got recordings, you know, where the guards are like, you know, they teaching the other guards about me. The new recruits, they saying, oh, yeah, he can't come over here. If he do, there's no telling what we'll do to him. You know, or he's not going to never get out. I got all those recordings. You know, that's how they doing me.
It almost sounds like they're bullying you.
Right. You know, they're bullying me. You know, the same stuff I'm getting 20 years for, people get 60 days canteen restriction for it. You know, 30 days visit restriction. You know, 30 days loss of phone privileges. You know, they're not getting no time like that. They're not getting no time like that.
How are you coping with it?
Well, what I'm doing is just, you know, I'm just trying to keep a strong mind. You know, I was raised, you know, to just, you know, no matter what, it's always somebody in the worst position. So I use that to keep me strong throughout, you know what I'm saying, this system and not let it break me. You know, but I got family pushing for me. Right now, we got a petition online that we're trying to get many people signed as possible for support, you know, because they're trying to suppress it and they're trying to keep everything a secret. You know, they're not trying to, like, put that out there. They're not trying to put that out there to where they can see, like, what's really going on.
Right.
You know, and yeah, I'm just trying to, I got a lot of family support. You know, I'm trying to fight to get out of here. You know, we got attorneys, but a lot of times be scared to pick up the case because it got something to do with their side. It got something to do with the officers.
Yep.
And they like, nah, we don't want no parts of that, you know, so, yeah, it's sad. And, you know, my friend always told me, like, you know, you're not everybody else. You're not everybody else. You know what I mean? Like the things you get charged for and the time you get, the next person not gonna get that, you know, because they paint this picture, you know, like this horrible, like I'm this horrible person, you know. Like I say, I don't have a lot of violent attacks in here. I don't got attacks on guards or attacks on people or stabbing people. You know what I mean? I'm in prison. I've been in prison 19. I'm finna be 20 years, you know, and I don't got not one stabbing, misconduct, or none of that. You know, I've been in some altercations, but it's prison, so people gonna have disagreements, and that's gonna happen. You know, so and it's just, you know, it's just hard. It's just hard being away from my family. It's hard being away from my family, man, and knowing there's so much wrong going on, and don't nobody see it. Nobody, or they do see it, they overlook it, or feel like, oh, it's something that he did wrong. They're not looking at the system or what they doing wrong, or how can we help get him home, or how can we hold the system accountable for what they did. You know, like what's the reason that he got so much time?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, how many other people got the same charge, and how much time did they get? Well, how come it's such a difference with, you know what I'm saying, like, out of these 1,000 people, these 2,000 people, and how come he got the most type of deal? It got to be something. It got to be some type of ill will, some type of maliciousness, you know what I mean? You know, and I honestly feel like they did it mad because, you know, I was acquitted of that charge, and they didn't want me to see the light of day again, so they had to figure out something where they can get me on.
How close were you to your release date before they actually charged you with the extra charges or found you with the contraband?
Well, it was actually, I think 2017 is whenever they charged me. Like 2017, they charged me, and you know I was in there fighting the serious charges for like a year or more, and then during that time is whenever they charged me. So that's like 2018, I discharged my case. I think it was 2018, October 23rd, 2018 is when they discharged me. 2017, whenever they charged me. And when I'm fighting the case, it's like, man, you know, they charged me with that conspiracy to commit murder, shooting with intent to kill, and conspiracy to introduce contraband in the penal institution. So I was acquitted of the first two. They gave me 12 on the contraband charge, and then I had somebody meet the guard. The guard, like, they need some money. So I'm like, all right. You know what I'm saying? I gave them the money. You know, gave them a pack of cigarettes to bring to me. Gave them a phone to bring to me. You know what I'm saying? They never made it into the facility. Yeah, I had them meet in the grocery store parking lot. They saying conspiracy to introduce contraband in a penal institution. It was never even in the penal. Although I did it, had them meet, and shit, they tried me from that grocery store while I was in the county jail. Yeah.
And this was in regards to the guard?
Yep, in regard to the guard, yep, so did. gave the guard the money. They been in the grocery store parking lot, and then they gave me that. That's what they gave me.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what did they do anything to the guard? Is the guard still working there?
Nah. The guard set it up. You know, the guard set it up. You know what I'm saying? When the guard asked me for the money, the guard like, okay, they said Givens gave me the phone number and told me how much money he would give me. You know, and they said Givens gave me the phone number and told me how much money he'd give me. So at that time, I contacted the detectives. You know, we set everything. They said out their arm out. We set everything up. We set it up at the grocery store to meet. Whenever we met, you know what I'm saying? Like the person that they met with took them to jail and they charged me. You know what I'm saying? Instead of them giving me a misconduct for, you know what I'm saying, coercing the staff, they decided, okay, we ain't gonna write him up. We're gonna go and charge him. We were gonna go and set it up. They paid along with it. Paid along with it.
Oh yeah, that definitely sounds like it was set up.
It was. I got all the paperwork. I got all the paperwork where they saying what they did. They saying they did it. And saying he gave me the number and asked for a phone secret. Like I really got all the information. Like, and they paid me. That's how they got me. And then whenever they wrote the talking about the guard being murdered, whenever I got my time, when I got my sentence modified, they said I ordered the guard to be murdered and got away with it. Well, at that time, you know, like I said, the guard was never even did. You know what I'm saying? The guard never died. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I had 15 correctional officers testify on my behalf. Like, okay, Givens never had no problems with us. We never had no problems with Givens.
Or there were no threats made or anything like that, threatening them to do anything.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm going through right now.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I'm just praying and hoping that, you know, this shed the light on my case in some way, somehow, you know, everybody can, you know, just support me some way, somehow, man, and fill out that petition and sign that petition. And the more signatures, the better. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The more people that know, the more people talk about it, the better.
Yep. You're right about that. And that's why I'm glad we're doing this interview, just to get it out there.
Right. I appreciate it. I do appreciate that.
Just one more thing I do want to ask is, do you feel like there was a reason you were targeted specifically? Do you feel like it's a reason they're coming after you because it like?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like the reason I was targeted, you know, is because, you know, they feel like one of their officers was ambushed. They feel like all the person responsible for doing it. They feel like they had witnesses testifying that I was ordering the hit for it to happen. And then I was still acquitted when I took it to trial. So they feel like I did it and got away with it. That's how they honestly feel like I committed that crime and got away with it. So they're going to find anything to charge me with, no matter how minor it is, you know, and try to give me as much time as they can, you know. So, because they was, like I say, they was trying to give me a life sentence, more than a life sentence. They're trying to give me a life sentence for the conspiracy to commit murder, life sentence for the suit with intent, and then they said 2 years of life for the contraband. Like, that's how they was trying to do me. So whenever I came out with the 12 years, they thinking like, nah, that ain't good enough. And they gave me the 320s.
So I just want to make sure I'm understanding correctly. So something happened with someone else, and they're just basically stating that it was a conspiracy to commit murder, and it was on your behalf because that they had witnesses or someone kind of like testify or an agreement with what they're saying. Is that right?
Right. They had somebody testify on me saying that basically they had two people, you know what I'm saying, but the witnesses, you know, they even with the witnesses, you know what I mean, like they just found me not guilty because everything they saying, it wasn't adding up, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like it was two witnesses and they both their stories was contradicting one another, you know, so they like, well, I said do this and I said do that, and they had all these fabricated stories. You know, and even with those testimonies, you know, the jury, you know, so they were able to see through that, you know,
right.
They were able to see through that, you know, and I was able to just come out, you know what I'm saying, on top. You know,
and that's good. Because, you know, that doesn't happen often.
Right, absolutely, yeah, it was, man, but that's definitely the reason. That's the reason why. That's how they did me. So, yeah, that's my story right there. That's my story. Like, man. And then when people go searching on the internet, it's like, dang, you know, he did this, he did all this stuff. This is why he got all that time. But, you know what I'm saying, what they say on the internet is not correct. You know what I'm saying? That's not no factual evidence right there. That's not what I'm actually charged with. If you go look it up on ODOC lookup, inmate lookup, and put my name in, you'll see, okay, doing, 20 years for this, 20 years for that, 20 years for that. But it's saying contraband. So contraband can mean anything. But if you look into it, and you'll see what the contraband is. Tobacco, they supposed to give you a year for that, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They
Still
took it up a notch.
5 years for that. Yeah, 5 years for that. You know what I mean? So how am I ended up with 320s?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, so hopefully help y'all to support maybe you can get to the governor in some way, somehow, you know, they can just go ahead and release me. Go on and release me. You know, I went up for parole last month, July 7th, you know, and they denied me. They denied me because I went a year clear at the time, you know, and it's so crazy, like, they set all these traps to keep me trapped in here. You know what I mean? Like I said, the recording that they had, you know, saying what they'll do to me, how I never get out, proves that. You know, because when I'm supposed to go home, like, well, you don't have a year clear. Well, they wrote me up on contraband. Said I had a cell phone. Well, the phone they found wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, whenever you're in jail, like, you got bunks that you're assigned to, you know, and it was on my Marcelli's bunk, right? Well, he wrote a statement. Like, okay, this don't have nothing to do with Givens. This is mine. Like, nah, Givens gonna take this. You know what I mean? So they kind of messed me up on getting out. You know what I mean?
Right, because almost like they're still trying to put it on you, even with someone else saying that it has nothing to do with you.
Right. So no matter what, they put it on me. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, they said they found something on my bunk or whatever, and I'm like, no, they don't have nothing to do with me. And the person came to them. They came to them. They got a written statement. They got a written statement saying this is not given. This is my bunk. Anything on here, guys, it's mine. They weren't trying to hear none of that. They stuck it to me. You know, so that's the crazy thing.
Yep, it's just what you said.
You
It's
have
almost
1
like
minute
you were
left.
targeted. They wanted it to go towards you. Okay, so we do have 1 minute, but I do want you to share something that you want everyone to know, or if you want any like advice, or if you want everyone to support, go ahead and share it right now.
Yeah, I definitely need all the support I can have. You know, I just want everybody to just, if you can, let the next person know and just get it out there to where the more people know, the better, you know, and I want everybody to sign that petition if they can, you know, because that'll help me, you know what I'm saying, in my fight, you know what I'm saying? It's still like a long fight, you know, because I got to try to, like, have my voice heard, you know, and I got to get that to the governor to where he can actually, you know, look into the case itself, look into it and see how unjust it is, you know, so if y'all can do that for me, then I appreciate it.
That's right.
I'm going to continue my fight.
As you should. And I do want to thank you again so much for doing this with us, and we will make sure to get it out there. And you keep your head up, and you be safe, and you reach out if anything.
Okay, I will. All right,
Thank you for using Securus. Goodbye.